couldn't put the pieces together. It literally took me, I'm going to say 2 years to put the pieces together. Like, why do I actually do what I do? So it's even though I deal with life insurance, it's more of a tool for me. I use it as a financial tool for people. And part of that is when I was a kid, I was always interested in money because we lived in this little small town that was like, how the heck am I going to get out of here? I mean, literally, this town was so small. The only restaurant was inside a gas station that had two little piggy booths in there. Small town, half an hour to go to McDonald's. Anyway, so it was always like I was always curious about money, and the only people you can ask, pre-internet, there's like you ask your parents. So my dad would tell me the same answer over and over again, to the point where I thought it was like a big secret. Well, what's the big deal? And his answer was, "There's a roof over your head and food on the table, and that's all you need to be concerned about." And my mom would chime in, and if you have any money left over, you need to save it. Okay, so once I got what I call my first quote real job, which means that every time I got a paycheck, I had a compliment. I was stocking money away, and as I remember asking my mom, it was like, "Mom, I got $6,000 in the account, and I made like 12 cents this month. Why am I doing this again?" And that's when I realized it was just there was a lack of knowledge. I'd fallen for the whole thing. Was like, oh, the whole trick was they just didn't know anything. So it was like 1994, around this time, 1995, the dawn of the internet. So I did an internet inquiry on there, like, who can help me out with this? And imagine this, only one guy called me back. Imagine that today. So we sit down, I talked to the guy, and he sounded like he knew what it is. And I went home and mulled it over, and it was like, I saw him on TV. He was consulting for one of the TV stations. So, hey, if he's on TV, he must know what he's talking about. So
Not
at this
necessarily.
time, I was working my first quote real job. I worked for Hallmark Greeting Cards. It was probably the second largest franchise in the U.S. We're an employee company, great company. So I considered at the time, I made that pretty good money. I was making 60, 70,000 at the time, single, no bills. So I'm just stocking money away. I'm doing what my mom said, just keep saving money. And I'm doing what the advisor said. I got no idea where it's going. It's good. Okay, that sounds good. It all looks good when he's presented it on there. So by the time I got ready to leave Hallmark, it was 2003 at the time. So almost 10 years had passed in there. I had saved 60,000 of my own hard-earned cash. So I'd say roughly a year's worth of income over those years there. How much money do you think I had from when I left that advisor? Anyone have a guess? I had 61,000.
Wow.
Okay, so looking back at the thing, I was the guy who never opened the envelopes that went through. They just said, don't worry about it. It'll be higher when you leave. Okay, well, it turns out, because we went through that was the dot-com crash, about a year and a half before that, I had roughly 160-some thousand. So I lost 100,000 one year in my 20s. So when people say, oh, it'll be higher when there it is, I don't care how long you stay. What's the average longest person to stay? 40 years? From your 20s until your 60s? I just burned 10 years right there, and I had exactly what I had, put in there. It didn't make sense to me anymore. So I left my job. I went to go work at actually taught down the road at Fulton Park Tech for a few years. I taught some business programs down there. And I'd taken some college classes there. I reconnected with a college instructor down there. I knew at the time, like, he had money. I didn't realize, like, how much money he had. The guy is a multi-millionaire. And basically, the only reason he worked at the college, he's like, where else can you get a job and be done by 1 o'clock and kick my benefits? Okay, so it turned out when I went to I actually replaced him at the college. And so he was doing other things on campus. But it turned out we only lived about 2 or 3 blocks away from each other. So I decided, hey, you know what? We should carpool. I want half an hour, there and back each way with the multi-millionaire there. So it took me probably months to get him to tell me anything, because it would always start with, "We're not having this discussion." Dude, I lost $100,000 in 1 year. I got no room to argue here. So we did that, and I was just dabbling and researching and things. And then I decided I was going to leave my nice cushy state job there, because I figured out I don't like working for the state. So that's when I decided to start my own business. So I those things. And then, of course, as soon as I gave up all my cushy benefits, I got really sick. Like literally sick where you wake up in the morning, you start your day at 7 o'clock, an hour and a half goes by, and I'm like, I need a nap. First day I thought, I just didn't sleep that well, I'm going to take a nap. I wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it took him 6 months to diagnose all this. Turns out I had allergies. Allergy all-star team. Lily walks in there, raises his hand, and is like, congratulations, you made the all-star team. The reason why I tell this, it was all that money that I had there, what I had to start doing is spend now because you start your business and you're not making any money. Okay, well the way everything was set up, it was like taxes on everything that was set in there. So there goes 25% of it. I had to pay a 10% penalty. There goes another 10%. So that's roughly like for every $100 I'm pulling out, I'm losing like 30 to $40 out of that each and every time. So your money goes down really quick. That didn't make sense to me. So in a nutshell, it was like I'd experienced all these different things that going through, and it was like I saved all this money. I feel like I got ripped off by Uncle Sam, and so that's when I really started concentrating. Like there has to be a better way. So that trifold that I passed around there, on the front of it is there's questions in it. And I really started asking myself like, there has to be a better way to do this. I refuse to lose money ever again. I was like, there has to be a better way. But I knew I needed double-digit rate of return, so you start looking at items, different things. I found that was like